All right, we are live and airbound on YouTube and Facebook. Hello, HTV boxing fans. We have a series of things that we're going to be discussing today. There's a lot going on in the boxing scene, and I'm going to have with me someone who will be discussing this with me. There's a lot going on. The biggest, of course, is the Shields and Marshall fight that has been canceled, in case you didn't hear, or postponed. But like I said, I wouldn't be doing this alone. So this is talking boxing. All we do is talk boxing, talk about things happening in and around boxing, and then of course we always have to go to the local scene to do that. Without much ado, I'm just gonna introduce to you. I have Delali from Met Sports who will be doing this with me. Delali, welcome to HTV Boxing.
Thank you, Doc. It's a
And
privilege to be on HTV.
thanks for your time. You know, there's a lot to be talked about in boxing. Now,
There's a
the
whole lot
first,
going on.
the first one I really wanted to talk about is the bigger thing that is happening, which is the Marshall and Shields fight. But before we do that, there's a reason why the fight has been canceled. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II has passed away at 96 years. May her soul rest in peace. And it is the reason why the show has been canceled. But Dela, how did you take the news when you first heard it?
First, I would like to express my deepest condolence to the people of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth countries at large. Um, I was I was just about. Uh, First of all, I saw it on a friend's status, and I was like, how can this be? Because she just met the Prime Minister. Then I went to BBC to check, and there the news was confirmed that the Queen, Her Royal Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, has passed away. It's very unfortunate, but God knows best. She led a good life. She led the people of the United Kingdom in a good way, and she was a great example to the whole world. So that is it on my take. But all
So
in
let's
all,
bring it into, yes. That's the main reason why the fight has been postponed.
yeah.
Should I say it? Not canceled, but it has been temporarily canceled. So the Marsha and Shields, Marsha, Clarissa Shields and Marsha, the middleweight. This was going to be a very historical weekend. It was an all-female boxing night, and the co-feature was also going to be as exciting as the main feature. I mean, what do you call it? Alicia Baumgardner and Michaela Meyer, they were going at it. In fact, after the cancellation, I saw some tweets on online between the two of them, and they were even calling each other the B word. That is how bad blood there is between these two. So it was going to be an exciting night. Now the fight has been canceled officially, and this is a statement that was released by Boxer. They have the official statement online, but basically what they are saying is that in light of the passing of Queen Elizabeth, and out of respect for her, and the royal family, they are going to postpone it, and they have picked a very peculiar date to do this postponement, the rescheduling of the fight. It's October 15th. Now, if you've been following boxing, you realize that this is the same date the heavyweight Wilder is supposed to be fighting. So we'll come to that and how this impacts boxing in general. But this was the statement that was released. Now, there have been talks about this online. If you go to Boxer's Twitter account, the people that are talking are like, this was bad. They shouldn't have done it. Their cricket is going on. And at some point, I mean, Boxer said they were in consultation with the British Boxing Board of Control. Now, this was their official statement. So if you look at it, you can tell that in fact they shouldn't be really people shouldn't really be blaming boxers so much or the organizers, because the suggestion has been that people should essentially hold off in terms of boxing events. So we can't blame them much. How did you take this postponement when you heard it?
Um, I knew that immediately that death happened. I knew the fight was going to be postponed. Um, I was also scheduled to have to discuss this fight, but immediately I saw I had already done the analysis on the fight, ready to record to post. Immediately I read online about the death of the person of Her Royal Majesty. I was like, no, this fight will surely be postponed because the people of the United Kingdom, they have they respect their tradition and they respect the monarchy, so they would like to observe some sort of respect for Her Royal Majesty. So I knew it would be postponed. But how did I take it? It wasn't surprising, but I
Do
feel
you think it's the right decision by the organizers?
I think it's the right decision by the organizers because you don't want to be at the wrong side of the public. And besides that, this is the first time you are having an all-female event. So you need to get everything right. You need to get everything right. And already, boxing is not the most popular sport in the United Kingdom. Football or soccer comes before boxing. So even if football is being put on hold, there's definitely no way the boxing bout would come off. Um, I would also say that it is right because, as tradition demands, we must mourn the leaders, and that is it, just it. But as a boxing fan, I'm sad because this is an all-female event. I was so much excited about it. This is the first time I think it's happening anywhere in the world. All-female event. It was actually uh, an Eddie Hearn plan that was that did not manifest because Katie Taylor was supposed to headline that particular show somewhere 2 years ago when Eddie Hearn proposed it. But Katie said no. She genuinely wants to compete with the men. But sometimes these things happen, and you since Eddie Hearn left Sky Sports, it was then adapted by Boxer who came in, and they really promoted this fight very, very well. Right from where it was announced, the build up, having Clarissa come to the UK to challenge Savannah for the title and all those things. It was really promoted. A lot has gone into it for the last 9 months because the banter also started on Twitter right till the two of them met face to face. And we know that there has been a blood between both of them. Savannah is the only person to ever defeat Clarissa. Clarissa, we all know, has a better pedigree in boxing. Let's call a spade and not a dig into. Clarissa is more decorated than Savannah. You may have an opinion that Savannah would win the fight, but Clarissa.
Don't give away your analysis. October is just here. But
Don't
today,
worry,
so
STV boxing fans deserve the best.
thank you. Now, so you think it was the right decision? And like I said,
I
some of
think
the
it was the
comments
right decision
I have read, I was
because
worried about that too, because I mean the British don't play with their monarch, so I felt that, especially in people that live in the UK, they may not go or they may frown upon it if it had gone on. But let's go to the meat of the problem here, and why some people have an issue with the cancellation. First, I want us to talk about the boxers. Now, these ladies have been training, making weight, doing their best. Some flying from other countries to the UK. How do you think this is going to impact them? I mean, in terms of this, their physical being, and then also mentally as well.
Okay. First of all, they should understand that this is not the doing of a fellow boxer or the promoter or their managers. This is just this is just a force majeure. No one could have stopped it. It happened somewhere 2 months ago or 3 months ago when there were a lot of sporting events that were scheduled to happen in Saudi Arabia. But with the passing of the king, every event was put on hold. There are some personalities, when they pass away, the whole country mourns. And that is it. It is not the boxers I know making weight, especially in the last few days to the weigh in, is very, very challenging. It takes a toll on their body, and their managers would have to spend more to fly them back. They'll have to fly back to their home countries and then fly back again. All these things will have an effect on the purse. But sometimes you don't just have to look at the short-term investment, because this is a big platform. These ladies are going to have one of their biggest platform, and all the ladies on this particular card are getting their highest paid pay. This card, everybody on it is receiving their highest purse. So, in as much as nobody wants the fight to be cancelled, and the toll on the boxers, the psychological effect, having to go back to the gym to train, having maybe they have plans after, some may decide to take a break and all those things, their vacations may be put on hold, but it is in their best interest, because sometimes you lose in order to win. Because like JC said once, sometimes bad things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Imagine when it's all said and it's all done, and this is being and this show is being held in honor of the Queen. The whole British public would support it. So sometimes the ladies on this bill should take it that it did not it wasn't a bad news for them, but it was rather a good news that will help them in the future.
Wow. Now, I have more questions to ask about that. But before I go on, if you are watching us live, please don't forget to comment. Bring your comments out. Bring your reaction to the cancellation. If you have any questions that you think we can answer, we are talking about a slew of things today, starting with the Shields Marshall postponement fight. But we would love to read your comments, and we would love to talk about your reaction to the cancellation. So you think that this fight is going to carry the same amount of excitement and all the merrymaking, the anticipation next month when it goes, or you think it would have died down? It's an anticlimax.
I don't think it will die down, because they have a very, very this particular event has the biggest platform in the UK back in it. That's a Sky Sports. With the Sky Sports machinery, they can still organize a very, very big event. It would there can even be a spin that it has been postponed to the 15th of October. This is an all ladies bout in honor of her Royal Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Imagine how the British public would go for it.
And
So
who
this
knows,
is not
they may invite the royal family there too.
yes. So
So it
it's
can
been an all ladies event it's been an all ladies event in honor of a lady monarch. Come on, that is a good spin.
I think you should be a marketer if you are not already. You know how to market this, Della. But so I mean, you've said all the good things about how the boxers should perceive it. How about the fans? Because she was from the United States, who went there, probably got hotels, flights. Now they have to cancel them. Now, I do not think airlines are going to reimburse them because they don't control what the organizers do. How about the fans? How should they be taken care of?
That is a very, very tough one, because fans and relatives of these boxers have flown from all walks of life, which the airline is not entitled to refund them. But that is what I'm saying. Uh, if they are able to reschedule this fight and it happens on the 15th, they should take it like a loss in order to gain. They should still come back and support their various fighters, because this is an one-off event in which everybody will very much enjoy. If I had the capacity, I would be at the O2 Arena supporting these ladies, because it is high time these women are celebrated. Someone like Clarissa, she has been 2-time undisputed weight champion. I don't know of any male boxer who has attained that achievement. She is on the quest to do the 10th division. This is pure greatness. Let's forget these are ladies. Let's still go there. It may cost us some quid, but for the love of the sports, let's still support these ladies in order for them to get to the pinnacle of the sports.
All right, thank you. Now, one comment I saw was that cricket was going to continue. Why should boxing stop? That's
Cricket is very popular. Boxing is not a popular sport in the UK. Football, rugby, cricket, all these three sports come before boxing. So you don't want to get it wrong in the eyes of the general public. That is
right.
my humble opinion.
You seem to know what you are talking about.
Because Doc, hold on. Because sometimes when it's football has been put on hold. The least football stadium in the English Premier League right now would have about 40,000 capacity. And if football matches are to be held, there would be chaos. Because Old Trafford holds about 78,000 people, Stamford Bridge 40-something thousand, Etihad holds about 50 to 60,000. These are huge stadium fights, so those would cause a whole lot of problem. But with boxing, the fans are few, and you need a lot of casual fans to be attracted to the sports. And it shouldn't be during morning. And if, let's say, the fight is happening tomorrow and the royal family has an event that same time, imagine who would lose.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you make some great points.
Definitely.
You make some great point. The loss, it seems like later there may be the organizers, the boxers, some of the stakeholders will end up winning in the long run. But I feel like this cancellation is a big loss for the fans, especially if the airlines and the hotels, are not kind to them. But like you said, if the promoters push it very well and they associate it with the passing of the Majesty, the whole of British may or UK may be behind it, and therefore it will be successful. Seems like we lost Dela. Once he comes back, I will bring him back. Personally, like I was saying, I think that it's a big loss for fans, but I feel like it's going to in the long run benefit boxing in general. For now, we worry about that, we mourn about that. I think I got Dela back now. Any final words on this cancellation before we go to the next thing that I want us to discuss?
I think the ladies should still keep the fire burning. They should just go home, relax, and keep training, so that we still have a very exciting fight on the 15th of October. I don't see. Okay, that's another topic. I don't see this fight affecting the Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius fight at all.
Well, you brought it up, so let's go right into it. But it will. Why do you say so? I mean, as much as we love boxing, we can sometimes get boxing fatigue. Because yes, people are saying that this will probably be in the US. It will be in the afternoon or evening time, so it's going to be around 5 p.m. Eastern, and the Wilder one will be in the at night here. But what if people want to watch it both? You know, it can be a little bit fatigue for the same day, and the promotion wise, it can be a little bit confusing too. I don't know. Why do you think it's not going to affect it?
I don't think it's gonna affect the two fights, because both fights will be coming from different perspectives. We are not having a Wilder Helenius versus a Fury Manocha on the same day. That may be two heavyweight fights with the same perspective. But
Okay.
these are two fights with different perspective, different time zone. Um, all ladies bout. This one is a heavyweight. As the return of Deontay Wilder. This is a Deontay Wilder event. It's the return of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder at the Barclays Center. So they are both different marketing fights with different perspective. And these and the one the Shield versus Savannah fight is an all-female bout, while this one is a PBC bout. It may have females, it may have different weight classes on it with different perspectives. So I don't think it is the same, though it's all boxing, they don't mirror each other like that. So I think all of them will have different type of excitement, and if you're a true boxing fan, you would still watch both.
All right. So that will be that. Sports. The last said is not. It shouldn't affect the Wilder fight for several reasons. Now let's go to the other big topic of the week here. We all know Anthony Joshua just lost to Usyk, and what something is happening here. Tyson Fury offered him to fight him in December, and he actually offered him a split of 60-40, which the Joshua team essentially took. However, the dates, it seems like they were not agreeing on. Now there have been several people talking about different reasons why Tyson Fury is doing this. But when I saw that first video, and I told a couple of folks, Tyson Fury seems sincere, and it didn't appear that it was a publicity stunt. When you first saw his offer, what did you think?
Wow. Tyson Fury looked genuine. His composure. There was no trash talk. He went straight to the point. Joshua, I know you just lost a fight to Usyk. You are fit. I'm offering you a fight in December. If you want it, let me know so that our teams would start talking. Essentially, that was the first video. Then Joshua responded. Or am I running too fast?
No, you're fine. You're good.
I thought then Joshua responded that he needed the fight.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted the fight, but he doesn't do social media discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Then he redirected to 258 management. But
Mm-hmm.
I have a slight problem on that. Let me bring you history, a little bit of history.
Okay.
The same way Deontay the Bronze Bomber offered Joshua 50 million. he should accept it, and the contract would be sent to him. That Joshua did not respond in the same fashion. Was it because, as at that time, he felt he was on top of the food chain and he needed to call the shot, or now he has been humbled? But fast forward, I thought the offer was genuine from Tyson Fury. Joshua responded well. As a boxing fan, I liked the response, and I wanted Joshua to accept the fight. But if I'm being objective, and if I work for Anthony Joshua, if I'm an employee of Anthony Joshua, I wouldn't advise him to take this fight. But as a boxing fan, I want the fight.
So we go back to where you had a change of mind, because at some point too, I also felt that this viewers we're talking about, I'm sure most of you watching are following boxing. We are talking about within a span of days, a lot of things happen, and from the genuity that we saw with Tyson Fury, I had a change of mind at some point of what he was doing. And then when I started reading about other people thinking similar, I began to believe it. So you, the last feeling that AJ shouldn't take it, even though you felt that the offer was genuine, something must have happened. I mean, why do you think he shouldn't change it? He shouldn't take it if you were part of his team.
If I work for Joshua, that means I must act in the best interest of Anthony Joshua, not Tyson Fury and not the boxing fans, but Anthony AJ Joshua is the product I'm marketing and is the product I'm protecting. Anthony Joshua have barely fought since the Andy Ruiz fight. Since the Andy Ruiz fight, 1st June 2019, they had the rematch. Then Kruber Pulev. Then Usyk at September last year. He lost that fight. So in the span of 5 fights, he has lost 3. And he's changing a trainer. Though he changed the trainer, he lost the game. Now, going into another fight, Tyson Fury is a very, very smart individual. A lot of people say Tyson Fury changes his mind every 5 minutes. I'm telling you, Tyson Fury knows what he is doing. Whatever he says and retracts and contradicts himself, he knows what he is doing. He is trying to push a certain narrative. And Tyson Fury, first of all, let's take note. Tyson Fury does not take fights because you have offered him fight or because the opponent wants to fight him. The only fight Tyson Fury has taken, even with that, he wanted the fight more. That was the Vladimir Klitschko fight. After the Vladimir Klitschko fight, right, he fell off the cliff and came back. Eddie Hearn offered him 3 fights. Tony Bellew, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua. He turned all down. Then he went to Frank Warren. Frank Warren offered him the likes of Pianetta. And he said he wanted Deontay Wilder in the 3rd fight. His 3rd fight, he wanted Deontay Wilder. After 2 fights, he wants Deontay Wilder. That means Tyson Fury, he picks his opponent. The fight that happened with Deontay Wilder on the 1st December 2018 was not the choosing of Deontay Wilder. It was Tyson Fury who called for the fight. Tyson Fury only enters the ring with an opponent when he thinks he is ready.
Now, but you know, I mean, he has not been in retirement for a long time.
Remember, there was supposed to be a rematch after the first fight, after the draw.
Yes.
Tyson Fury did not take the fight.
So are you saying that he knows? Okay, first, Are
He
you
is the
saying that he
heavyweight
doesn't
world
really want to
mayweather.
fight AJ?
I think he wants to fight AJ now. No other time. If he fights
Oh, because
Usyk, he wouldn't
he
fight
thinks he can
AJ.
beat him.
He thinks AJ is a wounded lion and he must have his bite now. And if he allows AJ to have 2 more fights with his new trainer, AJ would improve. He doesn't want
I
that.
see.
He wants
So
to
that's why we are
eat.
having date issues.
That is why we are having this issue. Tyson Fury, he can take the fight on the 17th of December. But why did his team offer 26th December and the 3rd of December? They don't want to give AJ enough time. It is boxing politics. It is boxing. Doc, you know yourself.
But
you want to hit your opponent at his low.
But let me play the devil's advocate here. Some people will say that AJ has been training a while before the Usyk fight, so he should be able to fight anytime. Just essentially continue training. He doesn't need to make any big change or anything. So he should be able to fight any date with anyone. What do you say
We
about that?
all know that is not true because after a fight, you get bruises. You get bruises. Even normal exercises, when you exercise for a while, the body needs to recover. And AJ has been preparing for Usyk for over 6 months. No boxer goes into a fight 100% fit. Fury last had a fight in April, so he has recovered. He doesn't want to give AJ enough time to recover.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Now, the other thing is that I guess going back to the point that you just made, that's why Usyk also don't want to rush into anything quickly. And then he did say he has been hurt, but Fury was not trying to hear that. So I kind of agree with you that Fury is trying to pick some of these guys when he knows that he can beat them and not when
Yeah,
they are
because
ready.
Fury is a boxer himself, and he
Uh-huh.
knows the difficulty the body goes through during fight camp. And knowing that he knows very well Usyk and AJ, their body can't recover fully before December. That is why he wants to fight them in December. Give him one of those fights in December and he will take it like that.
Hmm.
Why is it that Fury has been lackadaisical with the match fights? When they said they want to fight in 2023 March, he's been lackadaisical about it. Because he knows by then they would have recovered. Even if Usyk has a 3-month training camp, that is from January to March, he would be fit. But Usyk would want to rest from September to December. That is 4 months rest. That is good enough for the body to fully recover and start training camp in January and fight in March. But Fury has rested since April. So he
You
knows
make a
that
good point.
these lads are wounded. Their
You make a
bodies
good point.
have gone through a lot.
And I want to make one more point, but before I do that, if you are watching and you want to send us a message, you can send it to the Ace TV number at 301 842 6521 on WhatsApp. 301 842 6521. If you want to send in a message that you want to get us online, if you are not online currently. Now, so some people are saying he's doing this so that he doesn't fight the best guys at the end of the day. Towards the end of the year, he's probably going to fight a weak opponent and still keep going. Do you think that's plausible?
It is. And he wouldn't want to go into those two, he wouldn't want to go into the Usyk fight being rusty. Remember when there was negotiation for the Joshua for Joshua to step aside, and Usyk said he wanted the fight, I think in July. Fury said he wouldn't wait. He would want to fight even before July because he had then fought Deontay Wilder somewhere in October. Fury, knowing how good Usyk is, he doesn't want to go into the ring rusty with Usyk. He said if Usyk wants to fight in July, he would like to have an interim fight before he faces Usyk. I don't know if you remember the negotiation. He said he wanted to have an interim fight. If Usyk says he would be, then Team Usyk also did not want to risk Fury having an interim fight before he faces them. So Fury, a lot of people, he is very calculative. He is very, very, very.
We will say he knows the business of boxing.
Yes, he knows the business. His dad has been a boxer. His dad was not a successful boxer.
So he's doing it for the family.
His dad was not a. His dad, in an interview, said he was poorly managed. So he is preventing that from happening to his son. That is why his dad is always on top of issues when it comes to his son.
All right. So we've tackled our two main issues for the night, for the evening. Let's go to the local scene. Isaac Dogboe won his fight here in the United States, and then has been in Ghana. He did some, I believe it was yesterday. He did a boxing clinic with some kids, and also made a donation to the GBA. So I thought that this was a good gesture for boxing in Ghana. It has always been my hope that the likes of Dogboe, the Kome, those that have made it, who have worked with the big promoters outside, have worked in the mecca of boxing, I call it, in America, would come back home and give back not just money, but the ideas, that what they have learned, they will give back to the upcoming boxers, especially the active professional ones and the amateurs. Yes, the kids are great, but as we all know, education usually takes the lead there. But those that are ready to make it, it has always been my hope and my wish that they will go back and do this. So I thought this was very positive of Dogboe, and also his donation to the GBA. Hopefully, it goes to good use. What did you think about that, Della?
I think if any boxer from Ghana gets to the top level, Dogboe may not be a world champion as at now, but he is on a very good path into bringing back a championship to the motherland. I think the gesture was very good. It was not just for publicity, but it is something that these young ones, if they benefit from, they can say that, hey, when I met Dogboe, he did this. So I also, when I get to that top level, I also have to give to those younger ones coming after me. So I think it's a good gesture. A lot of people have done same. Richard Comey did same last year at the Charles Corte boxing gym with the help of Streetwise Foundation. They donated a lot of boxing equipment, but just that we'll not go into all the other details. But Dogboe has taken it to the next level. He is pushing the boxing with education. First of all, education is the key to success. And every boxer, before you enter the ring, you must know how to read and write so that you can be able to interpret simple text. We have had boxers who can't read and write. They've been cheated over and over and over again. So with a role model like Isaac the Royal Storm Dogboe asking you to take your books first before you take boxing, that is coming from an experienced an experienced person who has been at the world level before and who has seen it all before. So if he tells you, take your books first and let boxing come second, when you are done with your education, you can pursue boxing as a career. And telling these things to the amateur, I think that's very good. It will go a long way to help them. And the donation to the GBA was so that was 100,000 Ghana cedis. I think that is good money. It can go a long way to develop Ghana boxing one way or the other.
And I think that you hit the nail on the head because if you take your book seriously and at least you learn how to read and understand some of the big contracts that you are going to see out there, you'll be able to read and understand it. This will cut down on the "I have been cheated" chorus that always pervades Ghana boxing. So that's a good thing. Uh, um, if I had one wish, I've always said it. I have gotten the chance to tell Kobe myself, and I'll say it today. If Dogboe is listening, and if Kobe you are listening also, if the two of them can put on programs together in Ghana, together being the face of boxing in Ghana, that they have made it and they are doing it together, that will have a lot of strength, a lot of force behind it. And I really, really hope it happens. Or what do you think, Della?
I think it's a it would be a very good initiative, both being former world champions and having fought at world level. Dogbe fought a couple of months ago. Then Fury, call me 2 weeks ago.
So, can I? Are you there?
Call me 2 weeks ago. I think it's good for boxing if both men are able to collaborate. The statement they would make to the amateur boxers and the juvenile boxers. Remember, when it comes to the shores of Ghana, these two people are easily known by every upcoming boxer. They would send a public.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
And I think that when it comes to the support of the authorities, it also should be equal because there's nothing like the boxers doing it. I mean, maybe it's just a dream I have, but I envision the boxers doing it, those that have made it, with the backing of the boxing authorities and everyone. I think we would do things, but there have been so many divisions in Ghana boxing that I hope we don't go into it today. But it has always been my dream that everybody is together for the good of Ghana boxing. I think we would end here today. It's getting late, but we did touch on all the topics that we wanted to touch on. The shows Marshall, the Tyson Fury and AJ, and then the on the local scene, Dogboe and the clinic boxing clinic that he put up. I would my final word is that I was disappointed, but after this discussion, I'm okay with what is going to happen in October with the fight and with Tyson and AJ. I have a feeling it's not going to happen. Um, but it would be nice to see who is the king of of Britain or the UK. But we all know who probably will win it. And when that time comes, we'll do our pre-fight analysis. And I just want to personally commend Dogbe for what he did in Ghana. We want to see more of that with other boxers who have made it. Any last word for me, Della, for the fans watching before we roll off?
I I think we should keep supporting boxing. If we love the game, we need to watch it in order to develop it. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk on your platform to your boxing lovers. And for me, let's keep on supporting boxing. Let's not, for me personally, we shouldn't put a fighter ahead of boxing. We should support the craft and the sports as a whole. That is how we would be able to push the sports to the next level. We should support fighters, but we should support boxing first.
All right. The lot of Med Sports. Check him out. Check his paid out Med Sports on YouTube, and also on Facebook. And he brings consistent boxing content that you want to watch. And while you are there, please make sure you subscribe. He puts a lot of work into it. Thank you, Della, for joining me.
Thank
All right, HTV boxing fans, we're going to bring our talking boxing to conclusion. Thanks for waiting. If you watch it through, if you skip through, whichever way, I hope we give you the content you need, the information that you may not have had, or the excitement about just listening to boxing news in general. I'm your host, OP of HTV Boxing. Thank you, thank you. And hey, look out October 15th, whether you are watching the Wilder show or the Shields Marshall show. I think it's going to be a good day of boxing. If you like boxing and you work on a Saturday, make sure you take the day off. That's exactly what I'm going to do here. Again, thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye bye.